In depth with headshots. In depth with headshots. In depth with headshots. In depth with headshots.
What's going on, y'all? It's In Depth with HedShotz. It's your boy B-Head, episode 2, first quarter. My guy Jamal, Olasewere. What's going on,
What's
baby?
going on, my boy?
Not much, man. Love to give my fans a good word of the day always. It's a good word of the day.
Probably I would say perseverance.
Perseverance. I like it. Staying persistent in what you got going on.
Yeah.
No matter the difficulty and stuff like that. That's good. Always being consistent, solid. No matter anything that gets in your way, you know what I'm saying? That's you, true warrior. That's Jamal, you know what I'm saying? It's a Silver City native, Jamal Olasewere, very own Burnsville, my guy. He's a champion, 2-time high school champion, 3-time college champion, pro basketball player. He's a champion at every level. Just appreciate having you here, man. It's the new year tomorrow.
Crazy, right?
We already here in 2022. This absolutely wicked. Got here quick as hell.
Yeah, as soon as you blink, man, it was 2022.
Yeah, I know, man. So you just hit 30. New year coming. You know what I mean? Kind of lead me to my first question. What are like some, mental steps, physical steps you taking going into the new year? You know what I'm saying, that you kind of want to change up, or stepping into this new age of being 30. It's a new year. I know life kind of hit you fast. What are some little mental steps you taking stepping into this new year?
I'd probably say, being careful on how fast, you go through life. I think, even having a son and what I've learned through basketball is like, they always say, take it one game at a time. I'm in a situation now when I'm 30, family, trying to figure it out where, you got to take every day at a time. Every day is its own battle. Every day is its own step. And that means, don't look too far in the future because everything can change in the blink of an eye. Like I said, like we talked about, 2021 was over like that. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So, you can imagine, how quick this year can go by, how quick these days can go by. You want to cherish every single day because every day isn't promised. We do know that. And that's something I got to be careful with.
Yeah, day by day, day at a time. That's the biggest thing. I've noticed just this year in general, for me, patience was the biggest thing for me. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to execute, you know what I'm saying? But patience, taking a day at a time, like you said, was like the biggest thing. I just having a checklist, you know what I'm saying, day by day.
It's not easy too.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy.
It's not.
Everybody's always so focused on the goal, you know what I'm saying? I think Kobe said it too, but like, that is the fruit of our labor, but the part that you're supposed to enjoy is the grind, the day to day. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, patience isn't easy, but it's rewarding.
Right. And then you got all you saying day by day with the grind, but we got shit like again, you had a kid, so that kind of changes up your day by day grind. Then we got COVID, kind of changes up your day by day grind. It's just all this stuff that kind of can step in the way and fuck up your day by day. But what are things that like just keeps you on track? Like what are things that like keeps you focused through all the difficulty? Like you said, perseverance is the biggest thing, which is really about persistence. And
well, I think
everything.
like even what we've been talking about. I mean, I think it all just comes down to being able to adjust on the fly. You know what I mean? You can only control what you can control, and I learned that in college. Right, that was one thing our trainer used to always preach. Always, Richard James is his name, but he used to always tell us how you only control what you can control. So that means that's a testament to even taking it day by day, right? Like, if you start planning for a year and something happened, you didn't plan for that, Which, if you plan day by day, you can, now readjust things when COVID does hit, or a baby happens. You know what I'm saying? You figure it out.
Control your controllables.
Yeah, control your controllables. There you go.
You can't control your uncontrollables. And
right.
Your controllables. You gotta learn to control your controllables.
That's all you can focus on.
That in my last job. Yeah, that's key. That's key. Like when hitting 30, you know, hitting 30, right? They say 30 is that age that you really should have everything figured out. Or you kind of feel like you should have stuff figured out. You should kind of be on the right path. You should kind of be on the right track at the age of 30, right? So you hitting 30, it's like, do you feel, my first question, like, do you just feel you where you want to be at 30, just off the jump? Like, do you naturally feel where you want to be?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I thought I was on the way there, but, you know, I was hit with a curveball that I never expected. Not to reappear like it did, but I don't feel like I am where I am, but I'm happy with where I'm at.
Happy with where you're at. Okay, so do you think, with what you saying, you're not where you want to be, right? Does that make you look back? Does that make you look back and think like things like college or anything in the past may have been a waste of time, like a little bit of a waste? Like, do you think that you maybe feel you should have done some things differently because you're not where you want to be, or do you think everything happens, like, are you one of those everything kind of happens for a reason? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm the, everything happens, the way it happens for a reason, but yeah, I can't look back and say I made any of the wrong choices. I mean, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to change a thing, from what I've experienced, what I was able to do. I couldn't imagine living life any differently. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't seem right. Because I feel like everything that you've been through in life kind of shapes who you are. So no matter not having the things that you want right away or not being the person you want to be, just, being in a position you want to be, you are still who you are. And if you can be proud and stand on who you are, why would you want to take anything away or take anything back?
All right. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, man. I think everything is, you just learn it as you go. I don't believe in really losses, right? You get wins, you got small wins, you got big wins, and then you got things that you learn from, right? So I don't really look back on life and regret anything. I'm where exactly I want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. It's at the end of the day, I believe in a God, and I believe that it's His plan, and He got a good plan for me.
Something to plan. We're here.
Believe in it, right?
Yeah, we're here.
I'm just blessed to go day by day, because as long as I wake up, I'm blessed. I get a chance to attack whatever plan it is that is set for me. Yeah. I get a chance to go at it every day. That's why I'm blessed to wake up and smile and do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I know you said like certain curveballs stepped in the way, right? And like kind of like, kind of not really messed up, or just changed the path of your career, right? What are some of those curveballs that kind of stepped in your way, really, that changed the path, or that they kind of were unexpected, that were like, oh, okay, it made you kind of like take a different look on whether it's life or just your path itself, or the way you gotta now take a path? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are some curveballs that kind of hit you?
Well, there was a couple, right? You've been my man forever now, so
for sure.
My first knee surgery, I remember, changed me in such a way where, I really felt like I was invincible, man. Like, I really felt like at 26, I remember I had my first knee surgery, and it was a patella tendon, so it was a pretty serious injury. But I felt like I was invincible. My career was on an upward trajectory, and I thought, I just had to keep following this path. So then that happened, and I'm like, all right, do I have the mental capacity to bounce back from this, right?
Right.
That was something that was pivotal in my life, because, it showed me what it really meant to persevere. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, injury isn't easy. That can really just fuck you up mentally.
Right.
Because
absolutely.
Cool, just making sure. So I made it back from that. I showed myself that I had the grit, I had the perseverance. I had the dog that I always knew I had in me. Right.
Right.
Coming back off that injury, I had the second knee surgery, back-to-back years. And you talk about mental fatigue, right? I'm saying, it's like, one, I'm not really thinking that I want to go back under the knife like that again, because, again, I just know what it did to me the first time. And I wasn't ready to do that again, but, talking to family, talking to friends, and it's like, I know I had a lot left in the tank, so I did that. Came back. Now we're here at 30.
Right.
I was coming off probably the best season of my life. After 2 knee surgeries, after people said you couldn't do it, you couldn't be the same, saying that you can't, you're not the same athletically, and blah, blah, blah. I had the best season of my life. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I've been saying that my whole career. What do they really know? But I'm going into this next season. I'm telling my girl, I'm like, just be prepared to stay till June because we're going for the whole trip this time. You know what I'm saying? We played in COVID last year. I just wanted to get home. So, it was a little different. But this time it was like, we're prepared for war, we're prepared for the worst. And boom, they tell me my heart's too big.
Heart's too big.
Too big, right?
Too big. What is that like? What does that even mean? Like my heart's too big. Like
it's funny to me because naturally,
ironic though.
Yeah, in a realm, in a natural realm, it means that you put yourself at risk for dying on the court. And that's just the extreme, right? But in the perfect realm, you would think that would make you a better person, but we don't live in the perfect realm. We're here in the natural realm where these things can affect you. Now having a family, having more to live for, right? Because that's not just my son, that's not just my mother, that's my friends, and stuff like that. You got to think bigger than basketball, right? And that's just where it kind of put me. I'm in a position right now where it's like, you want to be selfish and just think about, how hard you worked at something and just wanting to see the fruits of your labor. Because again, putting the ball down is not easy, right? We worked at it from when we can remember. We've been in the gym together. You know how the Willows be. We've been in the gym since the beginning. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like wanting to see that through all the way is one of the biggest rewards of your efforts, right? Now, go ahead.
With your career, do you feel you've seen it all the way through? I mean, and now because I know you got right everything you've accomplished through all the ups and downs, though. Do you feel now where you're at? Like whether this is because like you say, you're looking at life a little bit different. You got kids, family. It's always been bigger than basketball, though. We've known that always. But do you feel you've seen your career through, though? Do you feel like you've accomplished what you set out to be, like in terms of basketball standpoint, not just life, because there's a lot more that you got going on, obviously, but just basketball wise, if this is it, if this is it, we don't know, really, God willing, but if this is it, do you feel? Did you,
I think it's too difficult to measure. I mean, I don't know what scale I'm using, right? Because on the surface, anybody could say yes, right? Anybody could look at my career and look at where I've come from and be like, he did that shit. But going to sleep ain't easy.
Which is fair to say.
Yeah, it's fair. Again, it's fair to say. But when I go to sleep, or I put it like this because I've used this before. But people will be like, they'll meet me like, what do you do? And I'll be like, I used to play. That don't feel right. You feel me? And that's a feeling that is hard to just be okay with. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like personally. On how I measure myself, I don't feel like I've done it all right. I was just telling my friends on the phone that, the love ain't been the same since the first surgery. I mean, shit, the love ain't been the same since they first told me I would play basketball again, and I did it. But, I'm a dude who, I thrive off vengeance, right? I'm not the kind of guy who always wants to get his lick back, but for me personally, I'm always the type of dude who just wants to be able to prove people wrong and say I did something that people said I couldn't do. Right. So after the first surgery, when the doctor told me that I couldn't play again, I played again. When they told me I wouldn't be the same as the first knee surgery because it was so major, I surpassed that. After the second one, same thing, I surpassed that.
Talk your shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even, I feel like I've been the best I've ever been was this past summer. And that was based purely on vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like, day to day, getting in the gym, playing in front of people or against people that could have possibly thought that, oh, he's not the same. To show them that, oh, he's not just the same, he's better than the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's been driving me. Like even going into this next year, I'm like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? I had a really good year last year and I was looking forward to getting, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a good off season, get a bunch of offers. I didn't get the offers that I wanted. So I finally get a team to bite in Italy again. I'm like, all right, well, since y'all didn't believe the first time, we're gonna go about it a different way this time. I just had my mind set on just tearing the league apart, and it was solely on vengeance. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different kind of fuel. I always feel like love, vengeance, and that type of stuff. Even hate. Those are three different things that drive you. For me, the most powerful I've ever felt, the most unrelentless I've ever felt, and the most eager I've ever felt came off vengeance, and that's how I felt this summer. So for it to be chopped, at my legs and just swept off my feet with this is just kind of like, damn. Now what do I do with it? You feel me?
Right.
So I think that's really what's hard to live with. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see these guys do it every single day. It's like, yo, damn, I can do this. I can still do this, but naturally I can't. Not right now, at least.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to have. That's a lot to have.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to really put in
handle.
words.
But with everything you've been through, I mean, again, me knowing you personally, you know what I'm saying, with everything you've been through, this is still nothing that I don't see you not, overstepping and still moving forward and still having a great career. But with that being said, if that's the case, right, and basketball is done, how do you feel about that, like, in terms of moving forward, right? What do you... What's next, right? So how do you? What is next? Like, are you ready to attack what's next? Is this something that what is next? Like, is it just 9 to 5? Is that how you feel? Like, are you one of those that refuse to do that? Is it just like, I'm gonna still do something basketball wise? Like, what do you? Is it? It was hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give you a little bit. With me, it's like when it comes to when basketball was done for me, right after college, in the sense of being serious and that being my last level of really playing basketball, you know what I'm saying, at a serious level. I know a struggle for me was, what else am I good at, right? Because basketball been my whole life. I'm not gonna lie, basketball has been everything, right? So it's like, what else was I good at was a big thing for me. Then I just had to, like, you know what I'm saying, break it down even more. You know what I'm saying? What else do I see myself finding passion in? Like, find myself really passionate about, like I have for basketball, right? Like, what else is that? Do you come across these thoughts, or just like now a big thing that's hitting you? Or do you have something, boom, you ready to step right into and you ready to go? Or is it like, is it a difficult thing you getting over, or how?
I think when you couple all of that, because I do feel these things too, right? But I've always been confident in the fact that I will be okay, no matter what I decide to,
Absolutely.
put my, put my feet in. But it is, because nobody ever wants to be stuck with a, menial job, and a job that they hate to do. That's not what we pride ourselves on. We've gotten the opportunity to live our loves, right?
Right.
And that's been basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It is a different avenue because it wasn't something I could prepare for. It wasn't something like, usually people get to call their careers when they call their careers, but they get other things started within the process.
Right.
I haven't had that opportunity, right? So, I haven't been prepared for it, but I think, even with these thoughts, I know I'm going to be all right. I'll figure it out. I don't have anything planned right now. I got my feet in a bunch of different stuff, and I'm confident I'll figure it out, but there's no rush, right? I think often people feel like there's a race against time to figure these things out. And it's like, yo, no, you got all the time in the world to figure it out. That's what 30, that's the misnomer about 30, right? We think 30 is supposed to come with the house, with the fence, with the kids, with the job, the high paying job, right? Because, we can't be making, people think it's not okay to be making 40K and being happy, whereas they want to make 100, 200 and be miserable. No. If my passion is making 40, from now on, I'm cool with that. Because, doing what you love is underestimated, and that's the problem. But as far as knowing what's next, I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. But I know whatever I do choose to do, I'll be very successful at because of what we were able to learn growing up from basketball. That's something that I will always apply in my life and anything that I do. And that's being a father, that's being a businessman, that's being a real estate investor, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I plan to apply those same principles that we learned on the court, off the court.
I hear that. And being there, I hear all that. Being 30, like you said, being 30, again, another milestone. What you know now, with the things that hit you, and like, right, like what's one thing you would tell your 20-year-old self, 20-year-old Jamal Olasewere, knowing what you do know now at 30, and the obstacles that have hit you, or what would you tell yourself? What's something you would tell your son, knowing what you know?
That everything's gonna be okay. Man, I think I was with Munda when I first found out about her when I was 21 years old. I think I came back to New York. I had just signed in Italy, came home and I just remember, I went to go, when I got the news from the doctor, I went to go kick it with him. And, I'll never forget how I felt in the moment. At the time, it was kind of like, what are you going to do? Like, the time where, you were supposed to receive the fruits of your labor. After all the work you put in, all the championships you've won, it's time to get paid to do what you love, and boom, up in flames, right? It was helter skelter. I felt like life was hitting me too fast and I didn't know what to do, but I just felt like if I would have known back then, if I would have known at 25 after the first internship, if I would have known at 26 after the second one, and even now, because now it's a hard concept to grasp now, I feel like I have a better outlook on it all, but I just feel like the idea of always knowing that you're going to be okay, it would just be very, very comforting, just knowing that, it don't matter how it looks right now, that, 4 or 5 months down the line, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. I guess it'll all be okay. I mean, it sounds cliche because it's never.
It's complex, bro. Because again, I don't like to be cliche, but man, sometimes these cliches have a lot of meaning to them. Because again,
they do.
It can sound so simple, but the certain things can really just blow up your life. You know what I'm saying? The littlest things can blow up your life, and you not knowing how to react to these things, you not knowing that 4 months down the line that it's going to be okay, can really make you believe that it's not going to be okay. That's not an okay feeling to feel. You know what I'm saying? People hit rock bottom, bro. People are hit with roadblocks all the time. But, I'm big on just finding a way out.
Yeah.
I've always been, bro.
You have to. It's all about figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
Do everybody's success. Like, nobody really knows what anyone really goes through, right? There's always personal stuff that everyone's really going through. Nobody really understands what someone's really going through. But there's somewhere along the line of when people who are successful, right? There's somewhere along the line where you have to step out of your comfort zone and still do, right? Like your skill, do what you're good at. Like, when you find out what you're good at, or you find a little something, or a little passion or whatever, you still have to take your skill sets and step out of your comfort zone. Somewhere along the line, you stepped out your comfort zone and got comfortable being uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, and was able to get through whatever it is. Like, people don't understand. Everyone, whatever they got to get through is always different, but you have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to find that passion and that drive to understand that it will be okay, right? To understand that this is just a little bump in the road. This is just a little hit. We're gonna be good moving forward, right? That's a big thing. It was like a 2-part question, kind of, because I know I asked you what would you say to your like 20-year-old self, but I kind of had another part to it, which was like, what would you ask what is something you would want to ask? This is a difficult kind of question, but what is something you would want to ask your 40-year-old self, being 30, right? Like, so like when you get to 40, like you know what I'm saying, you may have something if that makes sense?
No, I know shit. Me now asking my 40-year-old self, question. I think that's easy. I mean, the question that I would ask him right now is, was it all worth it? Putting down the basketball.
At 40?
At 40, was it worth it doing it? Now, or would it have been better to just risk it and get 2 more years out of it?
Even with your conditions, though, like you mean risk 2 years out of it, like?
Well, even with the condition I have, it's not a death sentence, right? It just raises your chances and stuff like that happening, right? And that's why they tell you that you shouldn't be playing competitive basketball, right? So that's what I'm saying. Would it all have been worth it to drop it at 30 right now, rather than just thinking about the idea of flirting with the idea of
maybe you can squeeze out a couple more years,
you know what I'm saying, to kind of get yourself settled in the right way.
Right, with that, right, exactly, with that kind of
like a farewell tour. I'm saying that would be nice, but
But that just always, to me, that's just always like, to me, it's like I hear you in that, but to me, it's like I think you can always. I think that's like an easy question you kind of ask yourself at 40, because there's so many times where you can ask, like, there's so many times, I mean, depending on your life and what the path is, so many times you can ask yourself, was it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, was it worth it? Like,
right.
Should I stay more years in college, or was it really worth going out this year, right? Should I, you know what I mean? Damn, should I have cooled it on having this girlfriend? I mean, Should I try? Like,
Right.
should I? You know what I mean? You know how that
Should
go.
go,
Like,
right,
should
right.
I really stayed in that joint for an extra 3 years, or should have just got out of there and
Right.
been focused more on me?
In hindsight, it beats you too back. Because you look back and be like, yeah, I should have got rid of her earlier.
Yeah, hey, right. It be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean that's a good question, but it's definitely one of those questions you can ask yourself multiple times. But that's cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like I said, you got like it's crazy to say you got a big heart. And that's what you said. It's pretty ironic. Everything you've been through. I said he's a champion at every level. Like I said at the beginning, with everything he's been through, right? So if this don't show you anything, it should just show you that do everything you can still win at life, right? Do everything you go through, you can still be a winner. You can still be successful, no matter what it is you go through, right? Life being on the line, right? It could be something as little as you don't have a ride here, or it could be something as big as your life being on the line, right? But either way, you can get through it, control the controllables, and move on, right? You have to focus on what you have to do to push yourself to move forward, right? Not really always focus on what life should be. You take it day at a time and really focus on getting your life better and making it, you know what I'm saying, the life that you should be living, right? That's what's kind of more the focus, not just having to focus what life should be, you know what I'm saying? Focus on knocking this stuff out day at a time to make it the life that you should be and you want to be living. But yeah, with that being said, I guess my last question to you, just what's some advice that you just want to give out to anybody, like I said, any athletes that have been in your stage, any athletes out here, whether it's your son, anybody you want to give advice to, like I said, knowing what you've been through, anything other than it's going to be all right, other than stuff that we said, you know what I'm saying, about perseverance. What's another little thing of advice that you can just give the world, share with them some good knowledge?
I think I would say I'll leave you with like this, passion, isn't easy to come by, right? And I don't want to that word gets diluted sometimes because people use it a little too much. But when you really do find something that you love, or even someone you love, try and live it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Try to give it all that you have, because at the end of the day, you really don't know when it can be taken from you, or when you have to say, or when you have to put it down. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, whether you're ready or not. But I think you'll find solace in the fact when you look back and you were able to say that you gave it your all. You know what I'm saying? You gave, whether or not you won enough or you put enough points or whatever you want to call it. Because we're just talking about basketball, but this transcends just basketball. This could be real estate. This can be custodian services, whatever it is, being a barber. Looking back and being able to say that you gave it your all and that you became the best that you possibly could be, I think that's a little underrated and it should be overrated. You know what I mean? It should get to a point where everyone is living, because everyone doesn't get to live their passion. That's the sad part about life. We only get to experience one or two, right? And that could just be somebody you love or something you like to do, right? And when you do get that opportunity, it shouldn't be taken for granted. So I just say, just live out your passion, live through it, see it all the way through. I think that's what I want to leave with: see your passion all the way through.
I think that's great advice, man, from the champion himself. It's the maniac himself. That's Marley Marl. Yeah, man, find your passion, stick it out, enjoy it, appreciate every moment, like he said. Get through it, do all the ups and downs, push through. You will be successful. Believe in it. It will happen. That's what this is all about, man. Showing people that you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, getting out your comfort zone to be successful. Do everything. Right. This is In Depth with HedShotz, second episode with my guy Jamal Olasewere. One little shout out Life Through Hoops. I know that's what something he got going on. Like I said, he's taking different steps in life now, man, but he's still staying in touch with the young athletes, with any athletes I got going on. You want to speak on that?
Oh, yeah, man. Like I said, Life Through Hoops, this one right here, I'm tripping. Life Through Hoops, it's something about giving back to the kids, not just basketball, it's mentorship, right? We want to give an element that we didn't have growing up. And, this world is filled with trainers and people who feel like they know what's best for you. But we're not here to tell you what's best for you. We're just here to guide you on what you think might be best for you in the best way possible. And that can be on court, that can be off the court, right? But we're just here to give back in ways that we were placed on this earth to do, by God's grace. So, Life Through Hoops, like I said, we have the best, when it comes to training. But we also have a line for these kids and these people and the way they grow up. So shout life to hoops.
Shout life
Turtle
through Hoop. Shout my guy Turtle.
Yeah.
It's Jamal Olasewere. They got that thing going on. It's great for the athletes, man. Please tap in. This in depth with HedShotz, episode 2 with Jamal Olasewere. You already know what it is. Silver City for life. Shout my boy Cover, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to that. Thanks for coming. It just dropped. Make sure y'all go tap in. Go listen to that, please. Silver City for life. Willows, you already know what it is. Peace.
In depth with HedShotz.